How's it going, guys? All right, so I'm gonna be doing a video a little bit different today. Got some Blue Bottle coffee, and it's espresso, and this is basically what I have been using before I started roasting my own coffee. This stuff is amazing. Blue Bottle espresso. And this makes me think about one thing is, why would you buy and roast your own coffee? You know, why would you do that when you can just go ahead and buy this right here for basically $14 or $13 on Amazon? And if you get the subscribe version of this, it drops it down like 71 cents. So it makes it a little bit cheaper. So if you buy this 10 times, you're saving like, $7. So it's pretty good. Over time, it could save you quite a bit of money just getting the subscribe and save, and you don't have to think about coffee anymore, right? It just comes to you. And especially when it's from a brand like this. And yeah, I know Amazon might not have the latest coffees, but this one is Best Buy November 3rd, 2026. And you can see there's a dark and light roast scale on the back. You can see that there. It's more on the darker side. And this coffee is absolutely amazing. So that's the thing. And that's the thing to think about, is why make your own? And there's something to be enjoyed about coffee in general. To be able to enjoy what other roasters can do with it, to see if you can match it, to see if you can make it better. And sometimes that might be a placebo effect. You think it's better, that yours is better. If you think like, yeah, I'm having the freshest version of coffee that there possibly could be, which could be true, right? But just because it's more fresh, it doesn't mean that it's going to be better. Because maybe what if you had a Robusta versus an Arabica? Well, a fresher Robusta, just because it's more fresh doesn't mean that it's going to taste better than an Arabica, even if the Arabica is a week or 2 weeks old. It's just because it was never ever going to taste the same or have anywhere near as good of a flavor. So it's kind of hard to say, well, it's just base it on the, it's just fresher, or better, because I know when I did it and stuff like that, and how I've been keeping it. I froze it, and all this stuff. So yeah, it's a lot to think about, but that's the nature of it, right? Like, why would somebody want to roast on a popcorn popper like this? What's the benefit of it? And that's what I've been kind of thinking about, and it's kind of cool to be able to serve something that I've been roasting myself to people. But if it's not as good, as this right here, I could just buy this bag and serve this to them, and they would be completely happy with it. I can change it up by adding different flavors, preparing it different ways, because it says it's good for pour over as well. So, that's maybe what should be happening. Maybe. It depends on how much, people liked what I was doing before. I'm going to be doing a mix of the two now. And originally, I'd done a video just the other day, and I talked about the fact that originally this was what I was using, and I went over to roasting my own coffee. Thought it was going to be cheaper, and it's not, right? Because of this, because of buying so much of it, right? So I have so much because I've been trying to figure out what tastes the best together. So I'm spending more money now on coffee than I ever have. So it's, in the long run, is it cheaper? Yes, but only if I didn't continue to buy so much of this green coffee. And I do use it all, by the way. I end up using all the coffee because I freeze it. And if you didn't know, now you know that you can freeze your coffee, and it'll stay good for months, which is what I'm going to do with this Blue Bottle coffee. This stuff's really good. It's got tasting notes. Let's see what it is. It's chocolate, nougat, and brown sugar. Can't beat that, right? It's organic as well, which is kind of cool. I don't even know if what I have is organic. Don't know if they used organic fertilizers or anything like that. But right now, I'm just going to move some things around here. This is one of my favorites. This is obviously one of my favorites because of it, and this is actually the blend that I actually made myself. That ended up. Oh my gosh, it smells good. Like I can smell it right now. I can't believe I only have one more of these right here. What did I thought I took one out. Maybe I didn't. And set it somewhere. But I only have one more of these little 1 pound. Oh, this is the, never mind, it's Hawaii Kona. Maybe they're in here. Here they are. Nice. I got 1.5 or 2.5 in here. But this right here is what makes all the difference. This is a dry processed coffee right here. Dry processed, Guatemala dry processed aguaquantones. But the smell of this is so strong and so good. You can't go wrong with this stuff. Got 3 of these. Can't really smell the Kona. The Kona is basically mainly, it's for coffee, just like not espresso. So it'll be nice to see what I have here. Ooh, I've got 3 of these left. Perfect. You know, the problem with these coffees is Sweet Maria runs out of them pretty fast because they're really good. And I don't know, they must not get a very big supply of them. But this stuff is amazing. This dry processed coffee is so good. That's not good. I got Cade 6 up here from Destiny. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him up here for now. Right there. And this right here. Okay, so put these. My PlayStation is going to fall over if I'm not careful. So I probably just need to, yeah, it's wanting to lean over. Set these like this for now. I guess that's good. So I can see them. Perfect. And what's nice about Sweet Maria's is they also send these in the box. They were always talking to you about what, how we buy coffee, Farm Gate, Sweet Maria's, Happy Holidays. That's cool. They sent me a postcard I could have sent to somebody. That's pretty cool. They sent me another one right here. Again, Farm Gate. And the receipt for everything that I got. I gotta hold on to these because this is I have an account, so I can always track what I purchased. But so I don't really need to hold on to those. It just tells me what I got in the box there. Got another receipt. So the one of the biggest letdowns that I have experienced so far was the Kona coffee. I prepared it as an espresso, and I don't think it's meant to be served as an espresso. Some coffees just excel at being an espresso, and some don't. Man, so bourbon is a thing. I know you guys like, obviously alcohol, bourbon, you know that, but but bourbon as a coffee, I don't know much about it. I don't. So Guatemala, San Diego, Buena Vista bourbon. This is supposed to have, dark chocolate aspects, cocoa powder, vanilla caramel, Brazil nut, and molasses, tenor tone hints. So this stuff is really, really good. It says it's good for espresso. This stuff says it's excellent for espresso, and they're not lying. And it's the only one I've ever seen on Sweet Maria's website that says excellent for espresso, which is this one right here. So these two together are my blend. So 50% of this, 50% of this, boom. I've got a really nice blend. I got this right here, the El Salvador Finca Marvelous Castillo. It says it's mid-tone cup flavors, mild acidity, malty sweet, notes of molasses bread with nuts, accents of cereal grains, caramel, chocolate confections, and herbal aroma. And it's good for espresso. So this stuff right here is from El Salvador, obviously. I had another El Salvador coffee before this one. I don't remember what it was. Maybe I have it on here. But it was absolutely amazing. And so I figured they had run out of it. They ran out of their coffee, as they do. So if you see something you like there and you want to try it, get it, because it's going to run out fast. It won't be there all of a sudden. Let's see. Yeah, it was. Yes, here it is. El Salvador Antiquaza Tabby. Wow, stuff's so good. And then the Costa Rica Chapiro Hoy Cafe. That is absolutely amazing as well. And then Mexico Sierra Madre is another one I had purchased, which I don't have any out here right now because I roasted it and I have it ready to be enjoyed. It's actually in the freezer. So for anybody that wants decaf, that Mexican Sierra Madre, absolutely recommend it. I don't know if they call it this, but it is water processed, or yeah, Swiss water process is what they call it, I believe. But it's washed, but it has nothing to do with the fact that it's washed. It's more of how they extract the the caffeine. So it's important that, you understand there's multiple ways that they extract caffeine from coffee when it's done. And the best one is the one that doesn't use chemicals. So I've got to do this one more time. And that's why I go with the Swiss water process. So it makes all the sense in the world to me that somebody would want to get coffee that would be, processed with water, not chemicals. They say that the retention in the chemicals in the bean is very low, like even hard to measure. But the fact that it's there at all is a problem for me, which is why I can't recommend anybody ever going to do that. Let me get this out of here. So if you can't tell right now, I just wanted to clean up and also talk about, the coffee as I go through it. It's more of a natural way of, going through all of this. And you'll probably end up seeing this stuff in the videos as I go. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I need to put my PlayStation down there probably. So after I clean that off, it's a PlayStation 3, by the way. I believe it's a slim model. Let's see here, because I like PlayStation. So this one, Ethiopia, an ideal Ethiopia for espresso too. So this isn't. It doesn't say good for espresso. It's ideal. So it means it's probably good for espresso. But this one's the Ethiopia Dry Process Senecata Mountain. I figured I would try this. I feel like it's a, let me see if I can smell it. I think it's a little bit too bright. Like it's too acidic, maybe? It definitely doesn't have, you can tell that it's dry processed. It's just quite different than the Guatemala. The Guatemalan dry processed coffee, that stuff, if I could get that again, as soon as it comes up, it's going to be hard for me to not buy 20 pounds of that stuff. It's going to be super difficult. This is a 5-pound bag, by the way. This stuff's fine. Ethiopia, it's Impressive Limu Natural. That, I don't know what that means. Impressive Limu Natural, I'm not sure. That's quite versatile, attractive, sweetness plays off modest fruit and berry tones, which is awesome. That's what I wanted. I wanted the berry tones along with the Guatemalan coffee right here. No, along with the El Salvador coffee. I was trying to make another blend that would match this and this. But you can tell the Guatemala dry process has quite a bit more on it. It's like they let it stay in the berry for a longer amount of time versus this. This almost looks like they took it took the berry off of it too soon, maybe? I don't know. I can't say. I'm not professional. I don't know what they were trying to go for. But I do know that Guatemala is doing it a little bit better. But the berry, it says, with an aromatic finish, body and bittersweet potential, make it an ideal Ethiopia for espresso too. So it's ideal. I don't know if it means good for espresso though. I guess, I don't know. But the fact that this says excellent for espresso, whoa, yeah, that's gonna fall over too easy. I'm gonna go ahead and move this now, even though it's not, you know what? I'm gonna move this over here so I don't mess up the console. Go ahead and clean this up really quick. I'm gonna grab a rag that's right here. If I had a spray right there, I would get it. Excuse me, by the way. But this rag will do. Go ahead and clean this off. Anybody need a dusty tissue? So that's kind of, what I have going right now as far as, my coffees, the options I have to make right now. So, to compare any of these with what is offered by Blue Bottle, it's hard to do because this stuff is made by roasters that do it like all the time. They're professional machines. They know exactly what they're getting. They are able to buy really good high quality beans. I don't even know for sure if they are high quality, but I'm assuming they are, for less than what I would be able to buy the highest quality beans. No, probably less than what I would be able to buy low quality beans for when I buy, coffee like this. So that's the difference. But the thing is that makes me think about this when I say that. Just because you're spending a lot of money on coffee, it doesn't mean you're going to get the best tasting coffee. Just because it's like high quality, it doesn't mean that also you're going to like it, right? And there's, if somebody, let's say that Blue Bottle didn't really roast this correctly, it doesn't matter what kind of bean they would use, it just wouldn't taste right. But because they're using good quality beans and they know how to roast it really well, makes it amazing. And plus you can get that for, let's say $13, $13.71 or something like that. It's such a good deal. Maybe even cheaper. I didn't say anything about this because this is Mill City Roasters. I actually found this brand because I was thinking about, I had the domain Event Coffee, and I know it sounds like Event Horizon, so it's kind of weird. I don't really like it that much, but if I was to have a catering, like if I was to have a cart, and I wanted somebody to know that I did this for a living, or if I was at an event or whatever, I would want it to just say eventcoffee.com. Right? So they can just go there and sign up, because obviously if they want it for their events, it's pretty self-explanatory, easy to remember, eventcoffee.com. They don't have to remember like whatever the name is that I chose, okay, for my business or whatever. That's when I was super into figuring out like, hey, it was back in September actually. Just like 2025, just a few months ago. This is how much I go back and forth with stuff. But that's when I was trying to figure out, if I wanted to do catering and stuff. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to be able to get a bunch of roasters, like people together, like a community of, home roasters that use popcorn poppers or any other kind of roaster, really. And we all got together and were, roasting together and having some sort of like convention or whatever. I'm not sure what it would look like. And we could have vendors there and stuff like that. I don't know. It was just a big thing I was thinking about. And so I thought, why don't I look up to see if somebody has, what are they doing for events when they're doing coffee events, right? When there's big conventions and stuff. What are they doing? And I found Mill City Roasters sponsored one of those events. And the thing is they're obviously doing very good if they can sponsor events, and they're selling their own machines. So I'm assuming that they're making money off of selling their machines, but also off of selling coffee to the people that are buying their machines. So that's pretty smart. That is smart business. That's smart business right there, for sure. So I give them props for that. But the thing is with this coffee, I've tried to do it many different ways. The best way this comes out is, no surprise, a light roast. I don't really like light roasts. I don't like light roasts. I thought I could just go ahead and make this a medium or a dark roast and I would like it, and I don't. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't figured it out. Maybe I haven't figured out the right roast path. But Mill City Roasters, it should be good. Should be good because it's got Brazil, Guatemala, and washed Ethiopia. Like, it should be amazing. But it's just not my favorite. And I had to order 10 pounds of this stuff. And it cost me, to get it over here, I think it might be going a little bit stale. I'm not sure. Let's see. No, it still smells good. It's just, I probably need to seal this bag off, to be honest. But I'm dropping these beans all over the place instead of just using this bag clip. But this stuff is, it should be good because one of them, I forget, it might be the Guatemala that is, or the Brazil that is dry processed. So they know. They know that, they need to do dry processed for this stuff. And I didn't realize that was the secret for that extra kind of kick, the extra flavor that you might want for your espresso or your coffee. It's in the dry processed coffees. So if you happen to like a coffee, like and there's something extra in there and you can't really figure out what it is, it's most likely it's because they use some sort of dry processed coffee in there. Or dry process means they just dry the bean while the fruit is still on it, right? Instead of taking it instantly out of the berry and washing it, which would give you that clean taste, which is great. Washed coffee is amazing, and that's probably what you've had. That's probably what you're used to. So it's good stuff, right? But adding just a little bit of dry, or even 50% dry processed, is probably going to set your espresso over the top. If you're wondering how to make a blend, I found out that I like pre-blend and post-blend, by the way. What is a pre-blend? Well, it's what I usually do. I would take, let's go ahead and put this right here. So I would take green coffees, blend them together, right? Weigh them out, and then roast them together. Post-blend is you roast your coffee separate, and then you mix whatever together that you want. And I think post-blend is really, really good, actually, because what's cool about it is coffees, they roast differently. And like dry processed coffee actually stays lighter. So it looks like it's dark, or it looks like it's light, but it's actually dark, pretty dark. So I'm thinking that's what's going on with this as well. I think they probably do have some sort of dry processed in here because some of the beans don't look like they are completely, like you can't call them really a dark roast. And that's the thing is when you're roasting coffees, if you're roasting it with the washed is going to look darker and the other stuff's going to look a little bit lighter. And you're going to think that you're getting an uneven roast possibly, and it's hard to determine by looks alone what you're getting, right? And when you should take it out and when you should stop the roasting process. That's what I've noticed. And so pre-blend is good, but post-blend I think is really good too because I had a really light Costa Rica blend that I wasn't really too happy with. I mixed that with a darker Guatemalan because I felt like I messed up a little bit on the Guatemalan that I roasted a little bit too dark. I put the Costa Rica light with the Costa Rica dark post, right? Post roast. So after the roast, I went and mixed them together, and it turned out to be really, really good coffee. Like it gave it that extra depth that I wanted the whole time, along with, you know, because what happens when you roast something for a little bit too long, you lose a little bit of the character of the coffee. You kind of start roasting it off, and you get that darker flavor, which is fine. You know who else does that is Starbucks, and Starbucks are the masters of dark coffee. And from what I have found, they're masters of making iced coffees and blended drinks. So they use that dark roast for a reason. So dark roast is good. I do like it. I know I do because I used to drink Keurig all the time, and I would go with Major Dickinson's blend. Major Dickinson's blend, and that was my favorite. And because it cut right through the milk, so that makes sense to me. That does make sense. So I mean, it's better than it was, right? This isn't too bad. I kind of want to make this, put this over here. Now that I have the room, put this right here maybe. Even though I really don't want to use this, maybe I can blend it with something else to make it taste better. Maybe that's what I'll do to be able to use this stuff and not just let it go bad. Let me smell this really quick, just because. Absolutely amazing, dude. I mean, I wish I could eat this like granola, you know? It's got like berry notes, like so much more so than this. I think this Ethiopia dry process probably could be better just by itself, and then this by itself. So what I think I might do is roast these separately and make these a post blend instead of a pre-blend versus the Guatemala and this Guatemala can both be pre-blend, no problem. I've roasted them together and it works out really well. But these are absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I have about 3.5 pounds left of the dry process. So yeah, let me know what you guys are going to be, making. What do you enjoy? What's your favorite kind of coffee? Blue Bottle is up there as one of my favorites right now. This stuff is so good. 12 ounces for $13, being auto delivered, and yeah, can't wait to have some. I'm probably gonna go make some right now actually, and I'll see what it's like. And hopefully you guys make something good for yourself today. My name is Mike, and make sure to subscribe, follow for more. I'm on day 22 of my 30-day journey of making one video per day for this coffee channel. Don't know if I'm going to keep going with this coffee channel. We'll see. So I'm trying to make these videos, as good as possible, for myself and what I want to put into it. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.